Hey guys, it's Cassandra from Beads to Live By. I was in such a rush to get on and to go live that I usually crack my seltzer water open before I go on camera. So I feel like that noise is kind of a bit much, so sorry about that. I just crushed my can with my brute strength. So things are off to a fun start. I'm going to let everybody get settled. I'm going to share a few things about what we've done over the last week and then show you one more set of techniques tonight that are very beginner level and very just like touching the surface of the topic, but really fun stuff that will be valuable to you for future endeavors, hopefully. Hello, my friend Deb. Guys, go follow that YouTube channel. Subscribe. What platform are we on right now? What's happening? Oh, so good to see you, Deb. Gosh. Come full circle tonight. It was like Monday, Tuesday, I felt like I started off strong. Wednesday, I kind of hit this I guess I was going this direction. Low plateau. Just was in a funk. Didn't feel like I got, a really great video rolling. And then yesterday, got those earrings finished and loving that. Well, earrings. I got an earring out of a pair finished. And then for tonight, I'm really excited to show you guys this this type of project we're working on. Deb, what's your next video on your schedule? Inquiring minds want to know how we can support our fellow bead friends. I did post on social media about 20 minutes ago. I'm hoping that works to get the word out about the video tonight. But a Friday night seems like and this is dinner time, and it's a different time than I've gone live any other time this week, I'm pretty sure. So it'll be interesting to see how many peeps we do or don't have this evening. But this will be a great tutorial for people to watch after the fact as well. So it totally is not something that if I don't have a bunch of people with me live tonight, that is okay. It'll be good to have it. Well, there's another eyeball. I hope it doesn't weird anybody out that I say it that way, because when it pops up showing how many people are watching, it's like a little eyeball illustration and then a number. So that is why I reference it that way, just in case anyone's ever wondered why Cassandra's constantly talking about eyeballs. There. Gave me some time to organize my desk. I mean, the space directly in front of me on my desk. That's probably the most accurate way I can possibly say that. Oh, and I think we've got good things to show now. Sort of, kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let my fan running. Oh well, it's not that cold. It's just a little chilly. But I think this necklace is done. Here, let me get this second camera rolling for you guys. We'll see what there is to see. The weather is crazy in Michigan. It keeps getting warm and cold and warm and cold. And my allergies, I know I've been talking about it for a week or two, but it's my head has been feeling very pressurized all day. And I don't want to jinx myself, but I am 75% sure I've got a migraine trying to get at me. So I'm going to have to probably take a Sudafed tonight. I am one of those lucky people when I feel a migraine coming on, I can most of the time evade it now that I know what the like starting kind of symptoms feel like. Mine is very specifically sinus related, and then a combination of that and like muscle tension. I don't know if the migraine starts to cause muscle tension or if it's like I am tense and experiencing sinus symptoms, but I know there's so many people who don't have any way to like avoid the migraines when they start to happen. So I am sorry for you. I know that it is incredibly unpleasant. And when I don't catch them, it's no fun. All right, getting this little adorable necklace kind of arranged so you guys can see at least where I'm going with this, if not like the full enchilada. I'll just turn a couple things. Okay. So we worked on this necklace last night after I finished those earrings, and oh yeah, Deb, totally allergies. This necklace has a very simple construction to it, but I tend to try to overcomplicate things. If you guys remember the video from Monday where I was working on the bracelet, which I did not bring, I was going to show like everything tonight, but maybe I'll take a picture of everything like grouped together once we're done with this marathon this week. But either way, on Monday, I was working on a bracelet. I had done 2 sets of things and I was getting ready to do a third set. And luckily I think it was Jody, chimed in and was like, I like the way it is. And that kept me from like plowing through and doing too much, basically. Sometimes like just the simplicity of something is the beauty of it, especially the beads. Like, okay, I've been avoiding turning my lights up because of my sensitivity to that sort of thing at the moment. But this dangle at the bottom, this like little charm section, could have more metal pieces in it. I might even add some longer bits that are more spaced out with like seed beads that like sit, where the bigger pieces are, closer to the ring. But then I did add on today. I just felt like, so when you wear it, it's going to kind of like have this kind of motif. So maybe I won't make anything longer in the middle, but I might add a few more things along the side. Just not totally done with it, but I've learned I don't need to push it if I'm not quite feeling or seeing the inspiration that I want to see. But that was technically our 4th project. So we had the bracelet Monday. It's going to be a pendant, I think, Tuesday. Right now there's a poll on our Instagram stories. So if you want to weigh in on the little beaded flower that I made, if it should be a necklace, pendant, a bracelet, charm, or earrings, you can go vote. But right now the pendant is winning. So I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with that one too. And then Wednesday night I started the earrings that I am now showing you on screen because I do happen to have that in front of me. And I've got some other beads that I think are going to look really pretty in this spot. It's like very abstract floral or maybe like more of a mandala sort of pattern, but it's a similar size. So I'm excited. It's going to look more geometric than the flower does. So I think that'll be fun to play with those. And maybe adding like 2 more colors and doing 5 colors of seed beads instead of the 3 that I did in the first sample. We'll see. And I don't know, I'll take this necklace off for a minute because I love it so much. I don't think I've even posted a photo of this yet, but the pendant is from Green Girl Studios, And Deb, you'll recognize well, I don't know, you or somebody showed something during our Sundance inspiration video, but then I found a necklace that was like a department store metal piece of jewelry that this chain inspired this chain that I made for this. So thank you, Deb. I really need to post a picture of this because it's got like these little wire wraps with just a single bead, and that's probably close to a size 6 seed bead. This one has a cut on it, and I have been hoarding them. And then this ube turquoise, I've got like a listing with a mix of them, but it's about gone in general. This is an 8mm size, and it's got an O bead on either side. So it's all just basic wire wrap, but I really love the way this turned out. I felt like that pendant, I wanted something more simple for it because I really want to be able to layer this necklace with other things. So I've got like a plan to make a seed beaded chain and layer it with this necklace at some point. But the piece de la resistance, I do not know French, for tonight and my inspiration for my 5th and final video this week. And you guys will not see me on a live again. Do I have something scheduled next week? I have to look. If I don't have something scheduled, I might not be doing a live video next week. I might take a minute off after this week. But the following week, I'll be live with our friend Heather Powers because I will be going to South Haven to have a staycation, craftication, procrastination. That's what we called the event in person for she and I video. So we'll be together tempting you guys with gorgeous things. I'm super excited about it. So if you don't know about that, let me start pulling up some links. That would be helpful. I wanted to get this part done for this pendant because it needs to be to this point so I can show you guys how the edge works. But I want to be able, what is going on here? I was going to log into my, interesting. I was going to jump on Facebook and grab the link for the event that I am doing. And it's just like, you just can't get on Facebook, or maybe I can't get on Facebook. I'm not sure. That's going to be interesting. Well, I'll try one more time, and then I'll just totally ignore that plan. Yeah, that's odd. So anyways, all right. I'm going to just type in the comments, Facebook event, procrastination instead of procrastination. And that is what you will want to search. And then it's like a picture of Heather and I together. So hopefully that is enough for you guys to find us. But tonight we are going to talk about very, very basic concepts of bead embroidery. And it works because of the floral theme of this gorgeous design. The pendant is by our good friend Sarah at Slate Studios Supply. And I'm just dropping that because I don't think she has any other. The only place that I would direct you to is her social media. And since that does not seem to be functioning at the moment, I'm going to just keep dropping the names into the comments so that you guys can hopefully look that stuff up once it's available. It might be available to everyone else and just not me. But So this is a crazy piece of leather. Our friend Kinga Bledsoe sells beautiful leather during trunk shows she does periodically online and in person. So that is where that's from. But you can use a lot of different materials for this part, and it does not have to look like an alligator. This one just happened to be the perfect shade of green. And once I'll show you the stitching that I did here, because the process of how you put beads on the foundation around your piece that you're either trying to showcase, or just the general practice of creating a bead embroidered item of any kind, has one basic stitch that I'm going to show you tonight. But I wanted to finish this part because you can't show how to finish the edge off without having this part done. So that is a longer process to decide how much of this you want to do. But I also, this is a dangerous thing to do on video, want to share how to cut away. So like when you start off, you've got a big piece of this foundation. You glue your focal bead onto the foundation, and then you're going to bead around it, which again, I'll show you that technique in a minute. But I want to get this leather glued on here. And then you cut away the part that's not beaded. And the goal is to just get as much of that cutaway as close to your work as possible. You do not want to cut the stitching though. So it's a matter of, see if I can turn my light up. There we go. Because you can see, I like to use a contrasting thread color because it's a way easier to tell where you want to cut. So the only reason I would use like a black thread is if in this present circumstance, at this point in my life, I would only use a black thread if I was, I got so close to cutting my thread there. I don't think I hit it though. And part of all of this is just like nicking away at what you would be able to otherwise see from the front of your pendant. So you want to remove the things that are going to be visible from the front, which this part here feels a little bit thick, but there, not bad. It doesn't have to be, like crazy exacting, but you want to be as close as you can get to the edge of your beads. So favorite glue, once you trim this, you set it on top of a piece of your backing leather, whatever, and you trace it. You can see my pen lines, and then E6000, easy to find. We sell it to most of the big box craft stores have it. If you don't have a local bead store, I don't think it's supposed to be shipped via air. So there's like some restrictions on how it can be shipped. So I would maybe be unwilling or unlikely to try to ship it to somebody, but we have it for our in-person customers for sure. And then I'm just going to apply a fairly liberal quantity. If you're going to be using lots of this, sometimes it's better to have a bigger tube of it, but I don't always, it's like I go through phases of bead embroidery. So should have grabbed my earrings. I do have a fairly beginner friendly bead embroidery class that I just listed, but you just want to line up the edges of your backing with the rest of your pendant. And like the work can be similar. It doesn't have to be like crazy specifically the same. And I'm going to do something special over here, so I won't like go into great detail on that part of the project. But for the basic edge that we're creating, I'm going to definitely show you guys that step by step. Yeah, I think probably, got a little glue on myself. Pretty good. So I think I'm going to grab a scrap of my foundation. I'm just going to chop off a little piece of this here. It's unlikely I'm going to use that to part for much else. I'm going to show you guys how to do back stitching, which is the absolute most basic foundational idea in bead embroidery. And I think this bead color will show up okay. If it doesn't, we'll just find something brighter, but this looks like it might work okay. And then I even have a piece of scrap thread on my tray. So for many of my bead embroidery projects, 1G, which is very similar to Sono thread, SONO is the other thread, are both totally acceptable types of thread to use. And just pretend that this is a piece of foundation that's a lot bigger and has like some other focal glued down near it. But the stitch is not going to change no matter what you're doing. As long as you just want a singular line of beads around something, or are going to just layer the lines of beads to make some kind of a pattern. If you search on Pinterest or Google bead embroidery jewelry, beaded embroidery jewelry, bead embroidered jewelry, whatever, variations of that, you're going to find all sorts of inspiration. But Kinga teaches classes on a regular basis, virtually and elsewhere. There's lots of wonderful places to take class from very talented instructors. So I already made a knot, but I'm going to show you guys. I'm just doing a simple overhand knot. So when you get that circle, gosh, there we go. When you get that circle of thread, you just pull on both sides. And I mean, this is going to double the knot over. Well, you can sometimes do two knots, one on top of each other, but I've just got two there now. So where you enter the fabric, that's going to be the back side of the project. This is the top or the front. So where your needle comes out the first time, this is the front. And the amount of beads you add does not necessarily matter, but it's usually nice to work in even numbers. So like adding 2 or 4 or 6. And we are going to take that 4 set of seed beads. We've got a size 8 here. And you go back down through the foundation about the length of the amount of space that those beads are going to cover. As close as you can get to that. You're going to come back up through the foundation halfway between the beginning and end of that set of beads. And then you're going to go through the last half of the beads. So in our case, it's the last 2. And then I'm going to do 4 more. You could do the 2 or the 6 or the, however many you wanted to do. Go down through the fabric. This is a foundation that we use. Up. So because you've got more beads on now than the first 4, you just remember that you only go up through the fabric behind the second to last bead, because this is halfway between the first and the 4th bead that we added in the last set. And then you go through those last 2. Again, if I was using 2 at a time, then you would only go through 1. If I was using 6 at a time, you would go through 3. I'll do 1 more of these and then we'll go on to the edging. So 4. And then up between sorry guys, send you flying, first 2 and last 2. And my stitching was a little long that last one, but you get the trick. So when you're stitching on a piece like this, if you get to this point and you add the 4, you just let them curve and then come up halfway through and go through the last 2, just as you do in the straight line. So that is how those were added. I did something a little funky over here that we're not going to try to go into, but this is just about showing you guys some of the basic foundational techniques for bead embroidery. And then I'm going to grab my size 11s that I want to use around the edge of this pendant. I've already got thread left along this edge because I had some thread left over. So if you needed to start a new thread, you would do the same idea as what I showed you on the beginning of the back stitching, and you would just come up through your foundation over along the side here. We're going to thread our needle, and I'm using a size 11. This is just a regular length needle. A lot of people also use a short needle, and they're about like 2/3 or less of the length of one of these regular long needles. But I've been enjoying I really need an 11 for the sake of the bead embroidery, but I've been enjoying the longer regular length needles for things like this. So I'm going to get away from this like little special area. I do want to kind of go through a part of my foundation that's got some weight to it there. Okay. So once you're coming out of the top of the foundation, this first step is different than the rest of it, as with most beading in general. You're going to add 2 seed beads and just a tick over from your first stitch. So like your thread's coming out here. I just moved over a bead or 2 and I'm going through the leather and the foundation. That black fabric is the foundation that all your stitching is on. And you're going to pull those beads down. So they're going to sit kind of funky along the edge there. And the last bead you added, you're going to go through it so that you're coming and like scooping up underneath of it the way that it's laying. And then you're going to pull so that it sits with the hole facing out that your thread is coming out of. Now you're only going to add 1 seed bead. And these are size 11s, but you can use other sizes on the edges of bead embroidery. Leather can be a little thick. Sometimes I even employ my pliers to pull and push on the leather a little bit. And then you just gotta get in there and scoop up that bead. So your thread will show along the edge. For that reason, you want to really choose. And you can also go this direction if you're having trouble getting a good grip on your leather or your foundation. You can just stick your needle in there. This leather is just thick enough that I am going to need to use my pliers though. So it might work better for me to do it with the leather first. We'll see. This part of my beading is also like loose because I don't have a stitch right there. So just remember, you always want to add at least one bead first before you poke through anything. 2 at the very beginning only for this style of stitching. And then once you pull your bead down, it's almost like you have to go up backwards through it to get it to sit the way you want it to. But yeah, I think that because of the thickness of my leather, going through the back first is going to be the easier way to go here. So I think it keeps me from like going too far into my leather and like kind of grounds the whole process a little bit. That's going to give like a nice glowy edge. This color in the tube is like kind of a soft version of like some of the yellows in here. And there's already a lot of green around it from my size 8 that I used. So I just wanted to use something else that was a little bit different. But those are the 2 main things that you will want to know, practice, learn in order to be able to do bead embroidery projects. And there's so much out there to know. Like I said, we have some really talented friends that teach classes on a regular basis. We have some on the calendar as well. We will have more on the calendar coming up because everybody loves something with bead embroidery. And it's just a very versatile technique that allows you more freedom than probably most of the techniques that we work with. So I hope you guys catch the bug, get going on it, start to do some bead embroidered things. I will tell you a little bit about once I get all the way around this and come back over to this edge, my plan is to either along the edging or possibly on this like layer of seed beads up here. That might be what needs to happen to make this work. I've got these 2 little clusters of petals because this flower was like incomplete on the pendant itself. And I want to do one more cluster of petals out here. So that'll kind of like be this very abstract idea of completing that flower in an asymmetrical sort of design in the pendant. So nothing fancy or crazy, but just something I felt the need to play with to make it just a little funky, give it a little character, but wanted to otherwise keep the design very simple and only do that 1 row of the seed beads around the rest of the pendant because this is a hand-carved ceramic piece. We did some bundles with these over the last few weeks. So you guys had the opportunity to purchase some of these from Sarah. And it's just so stunning all by itself. I didn't want to like go overboard with my beading. So this will have attachment points at the corners here, probably just a little seed bead loop on each side. And then I cannot decide if I'm going to wear it short or long, if it's just going to have a metal chain, or if I will be doing something beaded for it. So I hope to, as I said earlier, do some kind of photo with all the finished pieces from this week. And I'll have to do this to actually be able to take that photo. But I will keep you guys posted on how I end up utilizing that. So thank you so much, everybody. If you're watching the replay, if you were here live tonight, if you've been with us at all this week or after the fact, I really appreciate you all doing this with us and sharing in the fun of our Mayday Marathon, the floral inspired spring event that we've been just working away at this week. We've done some beautiful, fun designs that I really hope are giving you guys some like crafty inspiration and helping to keep you all entertained this week a little bit amidst any other things that are going on in your life. So I hope for anyone that is celebrating that you have a wonderful Mother's Day this weekend. My heart goes out to anyone who's hurting. I know it can be a very difficult time for many people. So know that we're thinking of you as well. And I will look forward to seeing you all shopping and on Facebook and in the store and anywhere else that we happen to find you. So have a beautiful weekend. I hope it's as sunny wherever you're at as it is here in Southern Michigan. And I will see you all again very soon. Oh, bye.